Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Hello, can you all hear me? Great, thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you. It's really wonderful to see so many of you here this afternoon. And I want to extend my very, very warm welcome to the graduates, to families and friends. I also want to thank my faculty colleagues and the staff here at UMass Boston. We're particularly privileged to have the provost here, and you'll be hearing from him shortly. Just a few things to keep in mind. This is the first graduating class of the Honors College, so it's a distinction. We became a college in November of 2013. So the graduates who are here today, they entered an honors program. And so we now have achieved college status, and that is more than just a symbolic elevation. It means, of course, that it signals this university's commitment to an honors education and that the Honors College serves as a beacon to all students on campus who aspire to challenge themselves academically and who want to take intellectual risks. So we're very, very proud to offer such an opportunity for our students here at UMass Boston. The provost knows that now that we are an honors college, we can ask him for lots of money. There are 47 students graduating this afternoon. Not all 47 will be here this afternoon because some of them have already left for graduate school. Some of them already left to start jobs. There are other celebrations happening on campus. So departments are holding their own sort of celebratory events this afternoon. So there will be some back and forth, people going in and out, and I just wanted you to be aware of that. We will be reading something about each graduate who is here and present. And I think you will find these, we call them our little blurbs, entertaining. All of these blurbs will eventually be available online at the Honors College website. The graduates, I would urge you to get onto LinkedIn and search for the UMass Boston Honors College alumni. And please enter whatever information you can about yourself. It's our way of keeping up with you, making sure we know what's happening to you. This is how I find out about alumni who have left us and whom we want to know and keep in touch with. So please just go on to www.linkedin.com and look for the Honors College, UMass Boston Honors College alumni. Details about how to get the photographs that our photographer Harry Brett will be taking this afternoon are in your program, so you can also get there and find your photographs over there. Mike Metzger has informed me that all graduates should be standing at a point here. There's a little white spot there, because that allows you then to be within the frame for the video and also within the frame for Harry's photograph. So if you could just remember to, when you walk up to the front, we'll call your name, you walk up to the front, please stand there and then listen while we embarrass you and read about you. And then walk over, one of us will give you your cord, and then you walk over to Joyce at the piano and she will give you your medallion. So that's sort of the sequence of events. And before I introduce the provost, who will say a few words, I'd like to introduce the Honors College staff, and may I request all of you to come up to the front of the room, please. Yes, please. Megan and Mike. And I realized, of course, that I hadn't introduced myself, so my apologies. I'm Rajani Srikanth. I'm the Dean of the Honors College. I'm also a faculty member in the English department. And to my right is Joyce Morrissey, who is the program coordinator of the Honors College. In fact, she is the longest member of the honors program, Honors College. She has been part of us for the last 20 years. To Joyce's right is Dr. Megan Rokop. She's the Associate Dean of the Honors College, and she's our newest member. She joined us a year ago, and we're very happy to have her. And to Megan's right is Mike Metzger, who is our Special Projects Coordinator. Mike has the special distinction of being an alumnus of the Honors College, and he went on, got his master's degree, got some work experience, and came back here to work for us. And I wanted you to know that, of course, with any enterprise, it is always a team that makes things happen. And I really want to appreciate my enormous gratitude to all three of them. Thank you. So I now would like to introduce our provost. Dr. Winston Langley is a political scientist. He's a professor in the political science department. He is more than just a political scientist, of course. He used to be, when an undergraduate student, a biology major, who then went on to become a political scientist and a very formidable political scientist. And after that, he went on and got a law degree. So he is also a poet and a literary critic. So this is a man of multiple talents, and he is the academic leader of our campus, and we invite him to speak a few words to you because it is most appropriate that our intellectual leader should be talking about the Honors College graduates. Dr. Langley?
Thank you, Dr. Shrikant. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to the first graduating class of the Honors College. It is very pleasing to be among you, especially so because I'm in the presence of friends, well-wishers, parents and other relatives, professors, staff members, and other colleagues from the university who are gathered to recognize and celebrate an important milestone in the university's history and in the lives of our honor students. It is a milestone in the history of the university because, as indicated just a while ago, we have an honors college, and the identities as well as the personal, professional, and moral orientation and development of the students, faculty, staff, including deans, of this college will not only have a special bearing on the future of the university, but on the future of this and many other countries, and we know the world at large. Part of that orientation, we may note, has been stated in the program of the afternoon through a statement by the founding dean, Professor Shrikant. That statement is that in electing to be part of this college, the students have elected to act boldly and to be bold. Allow me to say that I agree with Professor Shrikant. And now I wish to say that she also has elected to be bold in accepting the responsibility to become the founding dean of the college and to lead it in helping to shape the future just mentioned. I want to turn and ask you to turn with me to recognize our founding dean. I was also given something special to see that she has. And it is in recognition of this special day. It is from the staff of the Honors College. Graduating and commencing are apt terms to describe what is taking place this afternoon and this evening, as well as the next 2 days, in part because members of the graduating class have, by degrees, successive steps in progression, if you will, come to the end of a beginning, which took place when you joined the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Conjointly, you have also entered a period culminating this coming Friday, when you will be commencing, facing another beginning, the beginning of another beginning. You will be taking another step in the progression of your life and living, and in the life and living of all those people and things with whom or with which you'll be interacting. In looking through the program, I note that you, our graduates, are from many disciplinary areas, which I will not seek to enumerate. We know you have been effectively exposed to many areas of learning. What we hope you have gained above and beyond the knowledge that you may have secured from the disciplinary and transdisciplinary areas of your interests and focus are 3 things, among others. First, that you have been an active part of unlocking something in yourselves that has not before been unlocked. And that in this unlocking, some excitement or passion has been stirred. A stirring that we hope will guide you in the direction you will elect to follow. Second, that every experience in life, however apparently insignificant, every atom of our being and the universe's being is a frontier. By that we mean a site that forms the margin between that which is settled, that which is said to be developed, that which is concluded about or known on the one hand, and the unexplored on the other. The exploration here calls for courage and boldness and passion. Third, that your dreams and your longings are part of a poetry, a certain sacredness to be pursued with passion at the frontiers, and to bring yourself to an awareness that there is a relationship between the moments of your time and the many centuries of human beings. We also hope that you have learned something else. Gratefulness. Not an ordinary thanks. Almost a prayerfulness in acknowledging that one cannot fully repay the benefits received. I hope you will, to your parents and other relatives and friends and teachers and others who have been part of your academic and personal development, that will offer a special thanks in prayerfulness. It is this prayerfulness that, in a special mix, I hope you will always hold with yourself, and in the process give that self the respect it is due. You haven't come this far. You haven't taken the risks to be careless with that self. I hope the medallion ceremony will be symbolic of this effort. The university is proud to be associated with each of you, our students, our staff, friends and relatives. Welcome to your academic home, and welcome to the events of the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Langley. Before we start with the ceremony, could we bring in some extra chairs for you, Steve, Anita, Megan? No? Well, yes, okay. I would like to acknowledge a few other people. Megan, could you send Sarah and Kelly up to the front, please? Sarah Bolden and Kelly Dankert, two current Honors College students. They are the Honors Ambassadors, and part of their job is to help recruit more people into the Honors College and also to help us out in our very many special events. Thank you very much, Sarah and Kelly. And I'd like to introduce Harry Brett, our photographer. Harry. Thank you very much. And our video crew in the back there, John Gesso and his staff. Thank you very much. So we are going to start with our readings. And the way we'll do it is among Mike, Joyce, Megan, and I, we've kind of divided up who will read the blurbs, no particular reasoning behind it. It's just that we sort of divided things up. So when we call the name of the graduate, he or she will come forward, stand at this little white square, wait till we've read everything about you that we need to read, walk up, pick up your cord, and then walk over and pick up the medallion. So Mike, you're on first.
Is Callie among us? Callie? Callie? No? All right. Well, we will jump into our next person then. Sheza Alzaim, please step forward. She wants to go later. All right. Sheza will go later. Very good. It was nice seeing you all. I'm going to step to the side now.
All right. Shazzy, you just let us know when you're ready. So then I have the pleasure of reading the first bio. Thank you, Shaza. May I call up Emily Amaro? Emily Amaro came to us as a presidential scholar from North Shore Community College with an impressive array of enrichment and service activities. Here at UMass Boston, she immediately sought out the extra challenge the Honors College would offer, continued with service activities, and was inducted into the Golden Key International Honor Society. She chose anthropology as her major and is this year's winner of the Sally Goss Memorial Prize in Anthropology. This prize, given to a returning female student who has demonstrated academic excellence and successfully overcome obstacles to her education, is truly an impressive feat. Emily found inspiration for her senior project in anthropology in her honors junior colloquium on the Japanese internment taught by Professor Paul Watanabe. With her colloquium class, she visited the Manzanar internment camp in California and returned to research and write her project, The Japanese-American Internment and the Effects of Ethnocentrism, directed by Professor Ping-An Ado. She presented her work at the statewide undergraduate research conference this year. When we inquired about Emily's future plans, she mentioned graduate work in anthropology and heading west to check out California schools, as well as the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. It turns out she is also a mixed martial arts fan, and she will be visiting UNLV during Fight Week. She graduates magna cum laude. All right, next we have Amelia Atwood. All right. Hi. Amelia Atwood graduates magna cum laude with honors in her major in environmental science. She is the first winner of the School for the Environment's University Tellerus Award. She participated in UMass Boston's first ever Nantucket semester program called Living Labs during the spring 2013 semester. This experience led to her senior thesis, which is titled Monitoring Groundwater's Nitrate and Phosphate on Nantucket Island. Her thesis mentors were Robin Hannigan, Dean of the School for the Environment, and Dr. Sarah Oaktay, Director of UMass Boston's Field Station on Nantucket. Amelia has many honors and awards to her credit. She is a Chancellor's Scholarship recipient from 2009 to 2014, the College of Science and Math Dean's List recipient from 2009 to 14. She was inducted into the Golden Key International Honor Society, and she is a member of Sigma Gamma Epsilon, an environmental science honor society. For the immediate future, she will continue working for UMass Boston's Environmental Analytical Facility on a contract determining concentrations of heavy metals in oral fluid samples through a less invasive method than the traditional practice of doing blood work. Congratulations, Amelia.
Justina Bonfilio. Hey. Hi. Justina graduates cum laude with a psychology major. She came to UMass Boston straight out of Revere High School, and after a few successful semesters, she decided to challenge herself by applying to the Honors College. Justina surprised herself with her own high achievement. She tells us, "It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Now I am graduating with honors, and I am so proud of myself." She thanks the Honors College for a wonderful experience. Rather than a traditional thesis, Justina pursued one of the Honors College's thesis alternatives, which was a year-long course on museums, libraries, and the making of knowledge. For her final project for that class, she visited and reviewed several museums in the Boston area, and there are plenty, as you know. Justina ran track early in her undergraduate career. She also completed an internship in psychology with Professor Kathy Kogan, interning in the adolescent unit at a psychiatric hospital. She found the experience amazing and rewarding. Currently, Justina is everybody's favorite after-school teacher at an elementary school. She adores her job and her students. She's getting a lot of experience there, and she plans to go on for graduate work and ultimately become a school psychologist. We hope she stays here for that degree. Congratulations.
All right, is Sophia here? Sophia Budney? I was looking around for her and I didn't see her. Okay, we'll keep her for later. So then next we have up Samantha Counts. Is Samantha here?
You miss Evan? Were you going to do Evan?
Flynn, is Flynn Casey here? Yeah, he's not here. Yeah, so Samantha Counts.
Samantha Counts graduates summa cum laude with honors and distinction in her biology major. She was elected to Tri Beta, which is the Honors Society in Biology, and the Golden Key International Honors Society. Her senior honors thesis, Gonadal Steroid Independent Spatial Memory in B6D2F1 hybrid male mice, was directed by Professor Jinho Park of the Psychology Department. She presented her work recently at the Biology Department's Research Day. Samantha consistently took a demanding schedule of courses and a credit overload, and she's especially proud that she never took a course pass-fail. And she managed to fit in some athletics as well. She was captain of the women's tennis team. She has worked at the Neponset Veterinary Hospital and has been a volunteer at the Franklin Park Zoo Hospital for the past year. All of this will serve her well for her future career plan. After graduation, Samantha will move to California to establish residency there, and then apply to the University of California, Davis Veterinary School to study zoo animal medicine. Her dream is to work at the San Diego Zoo. Good luck, Sam.
Is either Santi or Tiffany Deep here? Okay, then next up we have Jackie Dow.
Jacqueline Dow is a summa cum laude graduate of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences with distinction in her nursing major. She was consistently on every academic recognition list. Her lowest grade ever was an A-. Jackie's thesis, Breast Cancer Survivors and Sexuality, a literature review of treatments, sexual side effects, and evidence-based interventions to treat sexual dysfunctions, was directed by Professor Lisa Kennedy Sheldon. It has been submitted for publication to the Clinical Journey of Oncology Nursing. She was a member of the Student Nurses Association and the class leader of her nursing cohort. Jackie is already employed in her field as a nursing assistant at Brigham and Women's Hospital and is hoping for a position there or in another area Boston hospital. After she gains some experience as an RN, she plans to pursue graduate study in nursing. Congratulations.
All right, next up we have Brian Foran.
Brian Foran will graduate summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology. He started strong as a freshman and he was inducted into the Alpha Lambda Delta Freshman Honor Society after his first year and then joined the Golden Key International Honor Society as a junior. He was on the College of Liberal Arts Dean's list every semester. During his junior year, Brian studied abroad at Oxford University, and he studied developmental psychology and physical chemistry. He lived in a house with 10 other students from all over the world, which he says was, quote, a blast, the greatest time of my life. I loved it so much, unquote. Back here at home, Brian also worked with preschoolers in Dorchester as a member of the Jumpstart program, which recruits college students to work for student teams for one academic year to support the language, literacy, and social and emotional development of preschoolers from low-income communities. And he was a member of the UMass Boston Rugby Club. For his culminating senior project, Brian will be interning at the Boston Medical Center this summer in a mental health clinic. He hopes for a career as a mental health professional, or perhaps he'll become a psychology professor himself. Congratulations, Brian. Sarah Gass. Sarah Gass is this year's winner of the Colleen Maxwell Award for Community Service in Nursing. She completes her nursing major summa cum laude, and she was inducted into the Sigma Theta Tan Nursing Honors Society, as well as the Alpha Lambda Delta Freshman Honors Society and the Golden Key International Honors Society. She served as the treasurer of the nursing class of 2014, and with her class planned the very meaningful pinning ceremony for her fellow graduates this year. Sarah was a medical volunteer at the Boston Marathon finish line in 2013, and she was selected to run the marathon in 2014. Through the research and observation involved in the study she undertook as part of her nursing capstone, she determined that many different interventions can and should be implemented with inpatient units to decrease the number of interruptions during medication administration, ultimately decreasing the number of medication errors and hence decreasing the cost for the hospitals and improving patient safety. Sarah is currently a patient care associate at Massachusetts General Hospital, and she's hoping to be hired there as a nurse. Later in her career, she plans to become a certified registered nurse anesthetist and to go on for a doctorate in nursing and perhaps even becoming a professor of nursing herself. She is also known for the successful cupcake business she started during her undergraduate career. Congratulations. Bridget Gilio. Bridget Gilio completes her nursing major cum laude. She was inducted into the Sigma Theta Tan Nursing Honors Society, as well as the Alpha Lambda Delta National Honors Society, and she's a member of the Student Nurse Association. Bridget participated in quite a variety of service and extracurricular activities during her undergraduate career, including the Philosophy Club and the Yoga Club. She also tutored the notoriously challenging anatomy and physiology courses required of all nursing students, and she served as a note taker for disabled students. She has a very full summer planned as well. After graduation, Bridget will apply to the new nursing graduate program at Good Samaritan Hospital in Brockton. Plus, she's jumping right back into some science coursework in preparation for graduate school and ultimately a degree in veterinary medicine. She'll also be presenting her nursing research, directed by Professor Terry Aronowitz, on the UMass STI and Substance Abuse Prevention Project at the National Association of Hispanic Nurses Conference in Miami, Florida. But first, she'll travel to Kenya with some fellow nursing students, taking part in the Kenya Heart and Soul Service Trip, where they will collaborate with Kenyan nurses to screen and raise awareness of cardiovascular, metabolic, and other non-communicable diseases. Bridget tells us that the goal of the program is for the UMass Boston participants to really immerse themselves in the Kenyan communities so that they're truly working with them and not just for them. Bridget is looking forward to experiencing a different way of life as part of this trip. Congratulations, Bridget. Evita Gonzalez. Evangelina, but we all call her Evita. So Evita Gonzalez is a political science major whose senior honors thesis is titled Paternalistic and Punitive Welfare Policies in the US, the Relevance of Emotional Cognition. Her thesis mentor is Professor Elizabeth Bussiere of the Political Science Department. She presented her thesis at this year's statewide undergraduate research conference, and it generated lively discussion. She also completes the minor in public policy, and she graduates magna cum laude. She's been inducted into the Golden Key International Honors Society. Evita has taken part in many noteworthy activities both on and off campus. She has participated in Project Hope, Habitat for Humanity, and been a Freshman Leadership Institute mentor for 3 years. She's also been a Beacon Voyages for Service member to Santa Rosa de Huacari in Peru, Clean Water and Sanitation Project. She's been to Philadelphia in Pennsylvania to work on poverty and homelessness, and she's also been on a service trip to Puerto Rico. Evita writes that one of the other favorite activities she was involved in while at UMass Boston was giving many hugs. And I can testify to that. Evita studied abroad in Galway, Ireland, and apparently she made friends among the locals there. 2 of them are here this afternoon. Oh, they couldn't. And she will be visiting and working in Boston for the summer. Congratulations, Evita.
Courtney Gunn. Courtney Gunn completes a finance concentration in the College of Management with honors magna cum laude. She is a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society and was inducted into the Alpha Lambda Delta Freshman Honor Society after her first year. She was a development intern at the Joslin Diabetes Clinic in her sophomore year and a State Street Scholar in her sophomore, junior, and senior years. She also participated in mentoring activities, such as a peer leader in the Management Lead Program and in the Freshman Leadership Institute. Her thesis, a clinical study of restructuring under healthcare reform, Stewart Healthcare System, was directed by Professor James Grant. She presented it at this year's statewide undergraduate research conference. She also managed to squeeze in an educational experience that sounds scrumptiously like fun. She immersed herself in food and culture, the Italian Experience Study Abroad program last summer. That's a great study abroad. Like that. After graduation, Courtney will be moving to Charlotte, North Carolina to participate in Bank of America's Finance Management Associate Program. Congratulations.
Liz Holliday. Elizabeth Holliday has been a fixture in the psychology department as an employee, researcher, and student for the past 3 years. After an excellent freshman year as part of CLA First, Liz joined honors as a sophomore and immersed herself in her honors courses, which she tells us were among her favorites, and her psychology major. She graduates cum laude and has been inducted into Psi Chi, which is the National Honor Society in Psychology. She's worked in the main office of the psychology department, and she also served as a research assistant in the baby lab, which is more formally known as the infant cognition lab, where she helped study infants' vision, language acquisition, and memory. For her senior thesis, however, Liz stepped a bit outside of her major, and she's writing on the topic of rape law reform and re-traumatization in the legal system, under the direction of Professor Shoshana Ehrlich of the Women and Gender Studies Department. She'll complete that work over the summer. In the fall, Liz will continue serving the psychology department as a project manager for a nationwide research study being conducted by Professor Jane Addams. And we are very glad that she'll still be in the neighborhood. Congratulations, Liz. Hayden Hutto. Hayden Hutto double majored in English and psychology. Her senior honors thesis is titled In Our Name, a Play of the Torture Years, How Michael Meltzner's expose of institutionalized violence, erroneous legal opinions, and the irrationality of public debates about torture interrogates audiences' preconceptions about Guantanamo Bay. For her thesis, she won the Alfred Ferguson Prize for Best Essay by a junior or senior English major in American literature. The playwright of the play on which she wrote her thesis, who is a professor of law at Northeastern University, was so impressed with Hayden's thesis, which is meticulously researched and rigorously argued, that he's going to share it with the cast and crew that will be involved in future productions of the play. Not surprisingly, Hayden has law school in her horizon. That she is going to be a formidable lawyer is evident from her serving as a tutor in the philosophy department's course on logic. Hayden has been inducted into Golden Key, the International Honor Society, and she was on the director's list of the Honors College all through her undergraduate career, which means that her GPA is in the summa cum laude range. She graduates with a near perfect GPA of 3.971. Congratulations, Hayden.
Lova Yordanov, come on up. All right. Lobo is a chemistry major and the winner of the Hypercube Scholar Award. Lobo performed his senior thesis research in the UMass Boston Department of Chemistry on how chains form of the molecules that make up the exoskeletons of insects and why they are so hard and brittle. Lobo received honors in chemistry for his excellent work on his thesis, and I was delighted to have him present his thesis research to me at the Department of Chemistry's recent poster session. Loba will be starting a PhD program in chemistry at Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute this fall, and I happen to know from personal experience that he will be an exceptional researcher because he performed a research project in my class this term, and so I have a report including documentation of everything that he ate every night for dinner all semester. Congratulate Lobo.
Catherine Kaiser. Katie in the room? No, Katie. Oh, she's at Six Flags.
She's at Six Flags.
I see. Okay. Okay. Samantha Johnson. Samantha? Right there. She thought she lucked out. Oh dear, no, we can't miss you. Samantha Johnson completes her English major, magna cum laude. Sam took the International Epidemics Cross-Cultural Symposium in lieu of a traditional thesis and traveled to South Africa to see HIV/AIDS prevention and treatment programs firsthand. Upon their return, the epidemic students do community service work as part of the course, and Sam volunteered with the Health Innovations Project Moves as a registration and outreach volunteer. A difference that Sam has made is all about the volunteer experience. You can't hope, she says, to make a difference because you can never know all the obstacles unless you are on the ground and in the mess. A reliable source tells us that Sam is a veteran retail manager, a devoted aunt to her nephew Christopher, and a great friend and fellow student who can be counted on to make valuable contributions in class. She is taking a year off before applying to graduate school in social work. Congratulations. Sheza Alzaim. Come on down. She tells me she's now ready. But you made it. Here you are, right there. Sheza completed a double major in political science and philosophy, cum laude. She has been an extraordinary example of civic engagement since she was a teenager and probably before that. Since Sheza was in high school, she has been involved in politics at the local and state levels. Looking at her resume, one would imagine it belongs to a much older person. She has served her town of Braintree as the student rep to the school committee and was so familiar with the State House that she was a volunteer tour guide there. She interned in several offices in the State House and for the Massachusetts Women Political Caucus, doing all kinds of work on the ground, making sure the political system is running. She worked on Deval Patrick's campaign as a college freshman, serving as Deputy House Field Director in Braintree. Her internships have been becoming progressively more responsible and prestigious. She was a government relations intern at O'Neill Associates in Boston, analyzing federal consulting clients on new bills and laws. She worked for the office of State Senator John Keenan and then in the office of Senator John Kerry as a healthcare department intern. Currently, she is an intern at Liberty Square Group, researching campaign policy. UMass Boston is grateful that Sheza brought her enthusiasm for civic matters with her as an honors college student. She is the founding member of our first ever honor student organization, the Honor Student Union. This has given the honors college student body a collective voice, as well as enrichment and social activities. Her senior honors thesis is policy-based, but also incorporates her philosophy studies. It addresses the question of whether healthcare should be distributed equally or proportionally through the use of both ancient and contemporary philosophers, primarily Aristotle. With all of the grounding in politics she has acquired since high school and throughout her unique undergraduate career, we feel she will continue to be politically active and that she will one day hold public office. As a next step, she will be pursuing a career in law and will attend law school in the Boston area. Congratulations.
Neelam Kumari, come on up. Neelam is a biology major who's receiving honors in biology. She is graduating summa cum laude. She is a member of the Phi Delta Epsilon Pre-Medical Fraternity, the Golden Key International Honor Society, and the Tri Beta Biology Honor Society. Neelam performed her senior thesis research with Dr. Mike Sciarras in the biology department here at UMass Boston. The title of her thesis is The Effect of Salinity and Temperature on Growth of Yellow Pigmented Enterococci. She has been on the Dean's List since her freshman year and received the Chancellor's Scholarship for Excellence during her time here at the university. She has also volunteered at MGH, Mass General Hospital, in the pediatrics department, and she plans to apply to medical school post-graduation to pursue a career in medicine. Congratulations, Neelam. Is Ian Lopez here? Okay, so then we'll call up Brett Mahoney.
Brett Mahoney earned honors in his management major for his senior thesis, which is titled Organizational Culture: How Management Can Adversely Affect Employment Turnover and Management Employee Relationships, directed by Professor Zakhanov and Professor Edward Carberry. Invoking the image of the toxic manager, Brett enlivened his presentation with images from the memorable movie Office Space, which made his thesis very relatable. He presented his work at the statewide undergraduate research conference this year. He was recently inducted into the National Society for Leadership and Success. Throughout his undergraduate career, Brett was active in the Delta Sigma Pi International Business Fraternity, serving as president for 3 years. He was named the Chapter Collegian of the Year 2011 to 2013 and New England Region Collegian of the Year in 2013. With the UMass Boston chapter and on his own, Brett engaged in many service projects such as clothing drives, Walk for Hunger, Boston Area Coffee House Association Clothing Drive in 2012, volunteering at the Greater Boston Food Bank, and the Light the Night Walk for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Before joining us at UMass Boston, Brett served in the US Army for 4 years, and he was deployed to Afghanistan. He graduates cum laude. He hopes to stay and work in the Boston area and eventually earn his MBA. Congratulations.
Oliver Marshall. Are you here, Oliver? Please come on down. There he is. Oliver Marshall is this year's winner of the Finance Concentration Award in the College of Management. He earned honors for his thesis, Strategic Management During a Recession: The Use and Side Effects of Strategic Decisions During the Great Recession. And he presented his work at the statewide undergraduate research conference at UMass Amherst. He graduates summa cum laude. Oliver also completed minors in economics and sociology. He's not only a great student for his teacher, he's a great classmate. He was recognized with the Classroom Leadership Award, given to the student who exhibits leadership in contributing to the learning of others. He contributed to the inaugural edition of Writ Large, the nonfiction magazine launched this semester by the Honors College. His article, Social Inequality and Class Reproduction Through Higher Education, seems to have been informed by his honors class on the history of higher education in America. In addition to his training in business and the social sciences, Oliver's other areas of expertise include the culinary arts and music. He also attended Le Cordon Bleu and the Berklee College of Music. Throughout his undergraduate career, he worked full-time as a kitchen manager at P.F. Chang's China Bistro in the Prudential Center. I like how I'm getting the food bios here. This is great. I love this. And on the business side, he was an internal risk intern at the State Street Bank and Trust. He is hoping for a position in State Street's Finance Intelligence Unit with the Corporate Compliance Division. With all of these skills and talent, Oliver gets our vote for the grad we most want to have with us if we were stranded on a desert island. Congratulations.
You didn't get to read the cupcake one, though.
That's true, I didn't get the cupcake one.
All right, Rob Moray, come on up. Rob graduates summa cum laude with senior honors in his math major. He was inducted into the Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society for first-year students, as well as the Golden Key International Honor Society, and is this year's winner of the Juan Carlos Merlo Memorial Prize in Mathematics. He uses his mathematical gifts in practical ways and has an unusual record of service as well. In his own words, Rob has a passion for helping others learn. He is a valued tutor in all things math at all levels. He has worked as a tutor in the pre-freshman program, Directions for Student Potential, and in multiple other tutoring concerns, such as the Subject Tutoring Program, Math Resource Center, and Freshman Success Tutoring Program. He has also served as a classroom tutor for the math department, offering special assistance to students with disabilities. Not surprisingly, he's also the president of the Math Club. Rob also puts his expertise to work in my favorite field of biology. He is a research assistant with the UMass Boston and Dana-Farber Cancer Center U54 Comprehensive Cancer Partnership Training Corps program, conducting research in mathematical biology to tackle an important problem in tumorigenesis. This work is reflected in his senior thesis entitled Mathematic Modeling of P10 and Its Implications in Cancer, directed by Professor Zaringhalem, which Rob presented at the statewide undergrad research conference. Rob has also volunteered his time and skill at Children's Hospital in their Office of Volunteer Services and Child Life Services, vastly improving record-keeping procedures and maintenance of inventory records. Rob's passion for helping others learn was recognized with the UMass Boston Honors College Classroom Leadership Award, given to one student in each honors class every term. True to his desire to help others learn, he has chosen to become a math educator, and he will be staying in the Boston area for his graduate degree, which we are very grateful for. Congratulations, Rob. Next up, we have Ed McDonald.
Ed McDonald completes his economics major cum laude. We've seen Ed in his many personas. We can attest to the fact that he looks very professional in a suit. But we've also seen him looking a little less fancy, pretty much in his pajamas, when he's come into work after an all-nighter. And who could forget Ed in his lacrosse uniform? He has been a member of the team throughout his undergraduate career. Ed completed his senior thesis requirement by participating in the Honors College's signature course, International Epidemics, studying HIV and AIDS prevention and treatment, and traveling to South Africa with his classmates. He wishes that everyone could have the opportunity to have such a fulfilling traveling and educational experience. Ed is about to begin his job as a sales consultant at NRS Global Partners in Quincy, and he's going to be recruiting some very high-level people for the company. A teaching career, however, might be in his future. Congratulations, Ed. Aoife O'Flaherty. Aoife graduates magna cum laude with a major in English and a minor in Italian. She's been on the dean's list every semester. She studied abroad in Torino, Italy, and she fell in love with the place. Aoife's senior thesis required her receiving a rigorous semester-long training in aspects of teaching from the former associate director of the Honors College, and then putting that training to practice by teaching a unit on Torino, Italy in an honors freshman seminar on cities. Throughout her college career, Aoife has worked in the food service industry. Her aim is to get into the field of food writing and publication. She's certainly preparing herself well for this career as she's entering a job as a baker at Flour Bakery in Boston, where she hopes to learn and grow as much as possible. Congratulations, Aoife. Is Callie Panissas here? Callie Panissas graduates magna cum laude with honors in her psychology major and a minor in Spanish. Her senior thesis, which is titled Sexuality Within Butch Femme Sexual Minority Women, was directed by Professor Heidi Levitt. She received an undergraduate research award to assist in funding her project, and she presented her work at the statewide undergraduate research conference this year. She'll also be presenting this paper at this year's American Psychological Association conference in Washington, D.C. later this summer. In keeping with her field of study, Callie has been volunteering with the network La Red, a survivors organization dedicated to ending partner abuse. Callie tells us, quote, "My experience at UMass Boston has taught me so much more about social justice as I have interacted with various communities during my time here. I'm very grateful for these experiences and look forward to taking this knowledge with me wherever I go," end quote. After graduation and her trip to the American Psychological Association, Callie is going to switch gears completely, taking a break from research to work on another passion of hers, which is creative writing in nonfiction and poetry. Congratulations, Callie.
Next up, we have Corey Pasikarnas. All right. Corey is notable for her devotion to the field of chemistry, for her efforts to help fellow students in the sciences, and for her focus on her future career in medicine. She will graduate with honors in her chemistry major, magna cum laude. Corey has been a lab assistant in the UMass Boston Chemistry Department in the Green Chemistry Group since her sophomore year, and she was a student researcher at Dana-Farber through its partnership with UMass Boston. Before that, she spent a summer as a cardiovascular stem cell researcher at Mass General Hospital. She received an undergraduate research grant for her work in chemistry and presented her project entitled Coupling of Fluorosulfonates with Phenols to Form Ether Linkages, directed by Professor Zhang, twice at the statewide undergraduate research conference at UMass Amherst, and also at the Northeast Student Chemistry Research Conference and the Northeast Undergrad Research and Development Symposium. She has been the recipient of the Shapiro Scholarship, Lytton Scholarship, and Bronner Scholarship during her undergraduate career, and she is this year's recipient of the Walter Weibrecht Scholar Award from the Chemistry Department. One of Corey's goals is to demystify chemistry for her fellow students through her work as a tutor. She has done individual tutoring and has also mentored freshman chemistry students, meeting with them in office hours and helping not only with chemistry, but also with the transition into college. She is also a weekly lunch buddy to middle school students at the McCormick School. To confirm and crystallize her interest in the medical field, Corey has been volunteering in pediatrics at Mass General Hospital for the past 3 years. Corey has a natural empathy coupled with professionalism that we know will serve her well in her future career, and was extremely apparent to me personally in her final oral presentation for our honors colloquium course on problem-based learning, solving life's messy problems. Congratulations, Corey. Next up, we have Jackie Perry.
Jackie Perry graduates magna cum laude as a double major in English and biology. Her senior thesis, which is in English, is titled Gender, Race, Power and Sacrifice, The Struggle for Female Agency in Sui Sin Far's Mrs. Spring Fragrance. Jackie presented her thesis at the statewide undergraduate research conference this year. Sui Sin Far is considered to be the first female Asian American fiction writer in the United States. Jackie's thesis was supervised by Professor Jesslyn Medoff of the English department. Jackie's passion for biology, the other part of Jackie's academic life, led her to work as a clinical research assistant at Massachusetts General Hospital's Orthopedic Trauma Service, and she was a pediatrics volunteer at MGH. When she was not exercising her biology and English muscles, she worked as a kid's birthday party assistant at my gym. Jackie will be starting a Master's of Public Health program at Brown University in the fall. Congratulations, Jackie. Michelle Pierre. Michelle Pierre graduates cum laude with a double major across 2 colleges. She's a sociology major in the College of Liberal Arts, where she earned honors for her senior thesis, and she's a marketing concentration in the College of Management. Her senior thesis, which is titled Barriers Toward Latina Immigrant Success, was directed by Professor Russell Shute of the Sociology Department. She's been inducted into the Alpha Kappa Delta Sociology Honors Society. Michelle has been a customer service team member at everybody's favorite supermarket, Whole Foods, since 2011. She's been strong on service throughout her undergraduate career, doing everything from volunteering at a local nursing home to mentoring freshmen through the College of Management's LEAD program. She served as Vice President of Community Service and fundraising chairperson for the business fraternity Delta Sigma Pi, and she volunteered on 2 beacon voyages for service, one to Houston to work with Habitat for Humanity, and one to Chicago to work with high school students. She also helped low-income Boston residents obtain the services they need in order to lift themselves out of poverty through the LIFT program, helping with job searching, maximizing income, and obtaining health care. Amidst all this service, she did manage to squeeze in some study abroad, spending time in Paris in 2012. After graduation, Michelle's orientation towards service is something that will not change. Michelle will spend a few weeks in August volunteering in Costa Rica, helping the community there work on maintenance projects. She'll also spend time at Earth University learning about sustainable agriculture and some time learning about microcredit loans with Association Costa Rica Grameen. She's really looking forward to her visit to Costa Rica, where she'll immerse herself in the culture and language, and she hopes to visit a sloth rescue center. Congratulations, Michelle.
Can we come? I want to go to the Sloth Rescue Center. Sounds awesome. Is Anna Price here? Okay. So then I'm going to call up Nicole Rostad. Nicole is a biology major who's receiving honors in biology. She is a member of the Tri Beta Biology Honor Society and is graduating magna cum laude. Nicole performed her senior thesis research in the lab of Dr. Mike Sciarras in the biology department here at UMass Boston, where Nicole studied environmental microbiology, which she knows is my favorite field. Part of this work was performed as part of Nicole being accepted to the prestigious Research Experience for Undergraduates, or REU program, here on UMass Boston campus, which is a national program. Nicole also did research last January through the Tufts January program. Nicole will be beginning her biology research career upon graduation by working at Draper Labs in the research group of Dr. Todd Ryder, who does both biomedical research at this institute and is also intimately involved in K-12 science outreach efforts on the surrounding MIT campus. Congratulations, Nicole. Next, we invite up Brianna Reyes.
Brianna Reyes is this year's winner of the Robert H. Spatling Prize for Distinction in the Honors College. She's known on campus for her high academic achievement, commitment to service, gifts for mentoring and leadership, enthusiasm for her fields of study, and her superhuman energy. She completes the joint major in history and archaeology, nicely complemented by an additional major in classical languages, summa cum laude. And she earned teacher licensure from the College of Education and Human Development. She was nominated by the College of Liberal Arts for the John F. Kennedy Award. Brianna benefited from mentorship, and in turn, she herself became an outstanding mentor. She was a member of the Freshman Leadership Institute and then served as a mentor to freshmen as an upperclassman. She's been an orientation leader, helping to acclimate incoming students to UMass Boston. She's been on several trips for Beacon Voyages for Service Alternative Break Program, addressing issues of hunger and homelessness in various parts of the country. As a trip leader, she not only served the community she visited with her work, but she also organized the trip for her fellow students, raising funds for the trips and arranging all the logistical details. Another service activity involved a long-term partnership with a community college in North Carolina, a domestic leadership exchange, in which Brianna and fellow UMB students exchanged service activities with students from Guilford Technical Community College in Greensboro. On the lighter side of her service activities are two turns serving as morale chair for a dance marathon for the Children's Miracle Network. One of Brianna's service activities deserves special emphasis as it relates to her academic excellence, gift for mentoring, and her future career as a teacher. Brianna has been a tutor at Charlestown High School as part of the Calderwood UMass Writing Center, a grant-funded project that seeks to help urban students see their academic potential. She conducted essay writing workshops, provided one-on-one help, and led workshops in note-taking and research. She now recruits and trains new tutors and assists with managing the program, and was recently part of the launch of a new center at Snowden International High School. Other enrichment experiences Brianna has completed are a national student exchange to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands first semester, and a summer-long archaeological field school in Orvieto, Italy, undertaken as part of her major in history and archaeology. Because of her contagious enthusiasm and extraordinary achievements, Brianna has been a walking advertisement for UMass Boston. As such, she has generously served as a Beacon ambassador and student enrollment leader for our admissions office, giving tours and serving as a Goodwill ambassador at many events. She confidently addressed a large crowd of prospective students and family members as a student speaker at Welcome Day for newly accepted students, and is often featured at events for prospective students, alumni, donors, and other organizations. If she looks familiar, it's because you have seen her. on the UMass Boston website and other campus publications. Brianna is just finishing her culminating student teaching practicum in the Foreign Languages Department at Brockton High, and to no one's surprise, she has fallen in love with the teaching experience. She presented her senior practicum portfolio for an appreciative audience this very afternoon and catered the whole gathering herself. Right now, she's headed back to St. Thomas for a visit, and upon her return, she hopes to continue working at Brockton High. All of us who have worked with her in honors look forward to her future career in education. And since Brianna won the Spatling Prize, she gets to share a few words with us. And here's your Spatling Prize.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say thank you to the Honors College, not only for this award, but also for all of their support over the past 4 years. I have been extremely busy on campus, and whenever I needed anything, whether it be help or just someone to vent to or someone to share in the exciting moments, I could always turn to the Honors College and specifically to Joyce. And they were always there to share in all of these moments with me. So I know that I would not be here today and I would not have been able to do all of the things that I was able to do as a student here at the university if it wasn't for Joyce's support and for the support of the Honors College as a whole. They really were always there for me, and they were always encouraging me to go above and beyond what I thought that I could do, and helping me in any single way that they could find to help me achieve all of the things that I wanted to do. So I owe them a lot and thank them all the time for all of the help and the love and the support that they've shared with me in my time here. So thank you very much.
Here, I'll get in the front. I actually did to get in the front. Mariah Roach. Hello. Mariah completes a history major, magna cum laude, with honors. She also completes a minor in English. Her senior thesis, National Consciousness in Juvenile Literature, was directed by Professor Jonathan Chu and incorporates her strengths in both her major and her minor. She presented her work at the statewide undergrad research conference this year. Mariah states in the abstract for her thesis, quote, "While the founding fathers and the earliest presidencies will never be overlooked by textbooks, it is necessary to consider that a nation is not made of politically minded men alone. Examining and drawing connections from literature produced from the instruction of children allows for the emphasis on an alternative perspective of social history during the development of the United States." Mariah studied abroad at John Cabot University in Rome in her junior year. She'll be giving herself a much-needed break after graduation and plans to continue with her job in the McCormick Graduate School. Her ultimate goal is a master's degree in library science. Congratulations.
Catherine Roberts. Yay, Kat. Kat Roberts is a double major in English and theater arts, and she also completes a Spanish minor. Her senior thesis is titled The Deconstruction of History in Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude through the Metafictional Realization of Narrative Time, which was supervised by Professor Emilio Sori of the English department. Kat won awards from both of her major departments, the Lewis E. Roberts Award in Theater Arts, and the Francis Russell Hart Prize in English. She was nominated by both her departments for the John F. Kennedy Award, which is the highest UMass Boston honor that a graduating senior can receive. Kat went on 4 study abroad trips: theater in Ireland, theater in London, international epidemics, which was to South Africa, and the Beacon Voyages trip to Puerto Rico. She is very involved with the theater department, and she took part as an actor, stage manager, assistant stage manager, director, playwright, and stagehand in 8 on-campus productions during her time at UMass Boston. Kat was also an English tutor for the Veterans Upward Bound program for 5 semesters and a class mentor for Professor Anthony Phelps' freshman seminar From Page to Stage. Her immediate plans are to try out at 3 auditions, which are set up at community theaters around Boston. She's been requested to stay on as a tutor at Veterans Upward Bound, and she is contemplating applying for a Fulbright scholarship. Congratulations, Kat. She said she got a part from one of the auditions. Stephanie Robin. Okay. Angela Rogers. We don't remember the last time we had a graduate like Angela Rogers. We've had double majors and double majors from 2 different colleges, but we don't think we've ever had a nursing major complete an entire second major in a different college. Angela graduates Angela graduates cum laude with majors in nursing and mathematics, and she tutored math as well. To accommodate her second major, she took summer classes every year she started here as a freshman. Angela's nursing capstone addressed the care management of dementia patients through case management teams. After graduation, Angela will take a well-deserved trip to Europe. She plans to start her nursing career in the Boston area, and she aspires to graduate school to become a geriatric nurse practitioner. She still loves her math major, and she may continue on to grad school in that subject too. She will be a woman of many degrees. Because of her unusual history here at UMass Boston, Angela was highlighted in the latest Honors College brochure. She'll be happy to autograph a copy for you after our ceremony. Congratulations, Angela.
Next up, we have David Schaffner.
David joined UMass Boston after 6 years of Army service that included tours in Afghanistan, Iraq, Cambodia, and Thailand. He graduates summa cum laude with a history degree and is this year's winner of the History Department's Bowler Prize, awarded for the best history essay written by a graduating senior. His thesis was supervised by Professor Ruth Miller. The resulting work, Information Thieves, using industrial espionage to explore the development of the information economy, is a compelling window into the metallurgical espionage world that was critical to the founding of the young American nation in the late 1700s, early 1800s. The work also framed using the unique paradigm of information versus knowledge, which one history professor labeled as an epistemological contribution to this space. While enrolled at UMass Boston, David exercised his ethic of service in many ways, most notably as a part-time paramedic in New Hampshire and as a member of the Massachusetts National Guard. Post-graduation, David plans to enroll in a nurse practitioner program at Boston College. Congratulations.
I'm proud to call up Sam Slavik. Sam graduates summa cum laude with a major in sociology, with honors and distinction, and a minor in music. Sam has been inducted into the Alpha Delta Kappa Sociology Honor Society. Her senior thesis in sociology was directed by Professor Schaefer and was entitled The Influence of Anonymity, Free Speech Rhetoric, and Privilege in Online Spaces and How Marginalized Communities Challenge Discriminatory Outcomes. Sam presented this work at the statewide undergraduate research conference at UMass Amherst. Sam was also a member of the Honors College year-long internship program, the Creative and Social Entrepreneurship Fellowship Program, funded by the UMass President's Office. In this program, her project was to increase attendance for performances held at Hibernian Hall, which is a performance hall in Dudley Square in Roxbury. She and her team member, Kayla Junkins, who's a sophomore in the Honors College, presented this work at a special symposium to family, friends, faculty, and the UMass President's Office just last week, where they got to highlight their successful efforts on behalf of Hibernian Hall. Sam is a longtime volunteer at the Boston Rape Crisis Center and also at the Peer Health Exchange. She is also a valued member of the UMass Boston Orchestra, where she plays as a cellist. Sam was nominated by the Sociology Department for the John F. Kennedy Award, the highest award that a graduating senior can receive. I was extremely proud to be the author of a letter of support for this award, as I am so proud of the work that Sam did under my supervision during her internship at Hibernian Hall. Congratulations, Sam. Next up, we have Arthur Stadnick.
Arthur Stadnick likes to say that he and UMass Boston have something in common. They were both established in 1964. Years after their founding, in 2007, Art and UMass Boston came together again after he completed his associate's degree in the honors program at Massasoit Community College. His reputation as an outstanding student preceded him. He tells us his favorite part of being at honors was being around very focused students and being accepted. He broke our hearts for a while when he left UMB to attend to life, but we were very happy to welcome him back when he returned in the summer of 2012 to finish his bachelor's degree. He graduates summa cum laude with distinction in his English major. Art completed his senior thesis requirement through the special honors course, Libraries, Museums, and the Making of Knowledge. Executing a final project that struck close to home, he reimagined our library in Healy Library, an idea. Throughout his time here at UMB, Art worked for the U.S. Postal Service full-time, while most often taking a full-time load of classes. And he's the father of 3. Because of his work history, Art was a valuable resource to his fellow students in the honors course on labor unions. Also because of his work, arranging his score schedule was quite a challenge. He swapped his work shifts around to accommodate his class schedule semester by semester. He often worked overnight or twilight shifts and then came to school with minimal or no rest, but always with lots of enthusiasm for his classes. We were very happy for him when he finally got to carve out some time for himself. Last summer, he took advantage of a study abroad experience participating in the Theatre in London trip, which fed his love of literature. And judging from the photos he brought back with him, it looks like he had fun too. After finishing his bachelor's degree in December 2013, Art jumped right into the English department's graduate program. He will be turned loose upon his own class of freshmen to teach next semester.
Next, we'd like to call up Stephanie Sun.
Stephanie Sun graduates cum laude with Bachelor of Science degree in psychology. She's been inducted into the Psi Chi National Honor Society in Psychology. Her senior thesis, which is titled Individual Family Plan, Extending Classroom Help to Families of Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder, was directed by Professor Laurel Wainwright, and Stephanie presented it at the statewide undergraduate research conference this year. Stephanie's research sought to explore ways to utilize the mainstream school system to further educate low-income families of children with autism spectrum disorder diagnosis in methods of reducing stress for both the child and the family. She advocates for the creation of an individualized family plan, similar to the individualized family services plan, which ends when a child becomes eligible for school. The goal of this shift in assistance would be to help low-income families feel less socially isolated, reduce stress, and increase positive outcomes. During her undergraduate career, Stephanie has participated in Casa Latina, in the Pre-Med Society, and the Psychology Club. She plans to work with College Advising Corporation, helping Boston Public High School students apply to college and for financial aid. She will also apply to the School for Global Inclusion and Social Development graduate program at UMass Boston, and she hopes to travel whenever time permits. She is a first-generation college graduate. Congratulations, Stephanie. J.C. Taft. Samantha Trenholm. Samantha Trenholm completes an economics major with honors and distinction and a minor in history, graduating summa cum laude. We were happy to accept her into honors when she transferred here from LaSalle College, although we confess it took us a while to get used to having identical twins in the honors neighborhood. Her sister Melissa had joined honors a semester earlier. Samantha's senior thesis, which is titled The Role of the State in Economic Development, Contradictions in the Historical Evidence and the Recent Neoliberal Ideology, was directed by Professor Amit Basol in the economics department. She is this year's winner of the Joanne P. Stewart Award for an outstanding female graduate in economics. Samantha shared her gifts and talents in her major with her fellow students by tutoring statistics. She's been an intern in the corporate accounting department at Blue Cross Blue Shield, Massachusetts, and she hopes to continue working there after graduation. She may eventually pursue an MBA. Congratulations, Samantha.
I can only assume that Corey Welch is not here since he's currently on a Fulbright Fellowship in China. Is that correct, Corey? Okay. Before I read the profile of our last student, who's probably used to being last because his last name starts with a Z, I just want to call the names of folks in case someone was not here at the beginning. So if any of these students are present, please come up. Sophia Budney, Anna Price, Katie Kaiser, Stephanie Robin, or J.C. Taft? All right, well, Vlad, it looks like we end with the Z's. Come on up, Vlad Zubin. All right. Vlad is a biology major who is receiving honors in biology. He is graduating cum laude and is a member of the Tri Beta Biology Honor Society and the Phi Delta Epsilon Pre-Medical Fraternity. He's been on the Dean's List he's been a Dean's List recipient 4 times and received the National Engaged Leadership Award from Sigma Alpha Pi Leadership Fraternity, which makes him very easy to advise as an advisor. Vlad spent a semester studying abroad through the Semester at Sea program, through which he sailed around the world and visited 13 countries. Vlad performed his senior thesis under the mentorship of Dr. Ken Campbell in the biology department at UMass Boston, and his thesis was entitled Parathyroid Hormone Type 1 Receptor Effects on Calcium and Phosphate Concentrations in Murine Serum. I love reading the science titles. I'm really glad that was my job today. During his time at UMass Boston, Vlad also participated in the Tufts School of Medicine Winter Enrichment Program, and he volunteered at Brigham and Women's Hospital, showing his passion for his future career in medicine. Congratulations, Vlad. Just to make that, what Vlad just did, a little funnier, we've had this riser behind the podium, and every time Rajani reads one, she moves it into the podium, and then every time Mike and I read one, we kick it away, so. I had to say that, Rajani.
This is the story of my life, you know. I'm the shortest one in my family. My 2 daughters are a whole lot taller than I am. One of them is like 5'8", and the other one is 5'5". So from a very early age, I've learned to be, like, people will talk about me there. And I hope the short people in the room feel empathetic. So we have come to the end of our ceremonies, and I would really like to thank all of you, families and friends, who have come here today to support the graduates. I again want to thank my faculty colleagues and the staff at UMass Boston who do so much to support our students and to help them develop intellectually, emotionally, adequately, in every possible way. This is always an event that is both extremely celebratory, but as you know, also for us, somewhat sad, because we say goodbye to a number of the students, and we sometimes joke that we're going to do something to their transcripts to keep them here, you know? We won't, I promise. You'll all be graduating very soon. So thank you all very much. There's cake, there's more food, and I know some of you have to go to the CLA ceremonies, which start at 6 o'clock, and so I might be seeing some of you over there. But really enjoy today, enjoy the next few days. This is a very special moment. And you know that all of the graduates today could not have been here without your support. So our very, very special thanks to you. And our thanks once again to the Provost. And I want to thank Dr. Megan Rokop, Mike Metzger, and Joyce Morrissey, without whom this Honors College could not run.